first thing that we're going to do, well, the first thing I'm going to do, you're not going to do anything except for watch. Unless you want to help, then by all means, fix it.
In the spawn of the night, my cape is red like blood so bright. I'll crush them all with all my might. If you see me,
The people and things of hell I Dundee.
Scars on my head that I don't need.
So we're actually finally on this motorcycle. The first thing that we're going to do, well, the first thing I'm going to do, you're not going to do anything except for watch. Unless you want to help, then by all means, fix it. So here's the first thing we're going to do is okay, you might not be able to see it because it's in a dark red, but the center is right here. So I want to go either side of the center, and I want to mark about, I'm going to say probably to right here, so we can make it even. So that's next. So I cut in the paint just so you can see. Mark here, mark here. That is going to be pretty much the center. Well, this is going to be what's left. It's right here about the width of my finger. So I'm going to bring this out and curve it and try to make a solid curve down this side, and then we can reproduce it on this side fairly easily. I say hopefully, because I haven't screwed up yet, but it's coming. So can you see what I'm going for? Right here, it's going up and over. Now hopefully I'm going to line up a piece of metal right here and measure it, and hopefully we are still dead center, and everything looks pretty good, and I'll bring you back when I'm done. Alright, we're back. I got it all hooked up right here. Let me see if I can zoom in up on it for you. I took and cut the back half off so it flows a little better. We have this line right here that we're going to lay down and be about right here where the old tag frame used to be, and it'll follow the tire. So I think it looks pretty dang decent myself so far, but you'll just have to see the rest of this. We may put another plate over top of this to hide all of this, and then it'll give it a little more depth. We'll see. We'll see. Next is going to be this. I need to cut the other side of the fender, which I will, but I needed to put the fender back on to measure out this plate that's going to cover this. And that is right here. Now I'm going to oversize the cut, and then we will trim it to fit. Makes sense? Makes sense to me. Alrighty, so I'm going to cut that real quick. Alright, I cut it out, started the bending. We're going to continue here in a few. And I'm going to start getting the fender looking right. And then once the fender's right, we're going to move on to the seat, get it finished up. And that is going to be our seat, and it also is going to be welded onto this. And there's going to be 3 points of contact for bolting. That seat has its own hole to bolt with. It's going to be bolted here. And then this pan will be welded to the fender, and it will be bolted on both sides. Sound like a plan? Sound like one to me? Okay, so I'm using the death wheel here, and I cut off a little square right here, which is about almost 2.5 inches by 2 inches. Was that 2? Yeah, about 2.5 by 2. And this is going to slide up in here like it's supposed to. Let's see if it does, or if I need to talk about it a little bit. We might need to have a little conversation here. Yes, we're going to need a little conversation. So I'm going to get back with you after I have a little bit of a conversation with this, which means use a hammer on it and beat it until it curves. So, yeah. Be right back. So I was able to beat a little bit on the edge right here and up here and curved it a little bit. It needs to be shorter. It's too wide here to fit properly. So what I'm going to do is, that is thinner. Let's see if that fits. It does. So I'm going to line this up like that right there and kind of cut evenly the same on both sides. Right now the cuts don't need to be perfect because the only thing I'm trying to do is get it to roughly fit, and then I can smooth it in and make it fit properly. Alright, so this is starting to fit properly. Now this had to be beat into a curve. The curve's not perfect. You can see it's warped up a little bit. That's fine. You don't need to be perfect on everything when you first mock it up. If you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to do this, just a rough mock-up like this is perfectly fine. Don't, you watch too many episodes on TV or too many YouTube videos in some cases to where it seems like they create it and it's perfect the first time. No, it's not. Most of the time they'll put down paper, trace it out, all that good stuff. This is going to be the hard way, and I believe wholeheartedly in learning the hard way first, because if you learn the hard way, you respect the easy way, and this is the hard way. I can slide it up in there. You see, that's what I want. I want it as close as I can possibly get it. There we go. That is right up on there. Done. This part's done. This part is not. I have an issue, and it is that tab on the fender. This tab too is going to be an issue. Again, it's a simple fix. Cut these two tabs off, reinstall, and put it all back together. Ta-da! Now that I have my first side is already cut out, how would I fix this so the other side will match on this back fender? Here's simple. I have this big cutout that actually has the shape I used that can fit just like that, and you have the shape of the cutout. But Danny, it's not laying flat. We have the two studs. Simple fix. Death wheel. Why do they call that a death wheel? I mean, it'll cut fingers off. Maybe it should be called the limb wheel. I don't know. I can tell you it ain't gonna take out no eyes today. Okay, so I took the piece that rolls that I cut off for this template. I took that piece, laid it on paper, and slowly rolled it out as I was tracing, and I came out with this. This is going to be the negative for the other side. All I have to do here is, as you can see, it rolls just like the other. And I stick it directly where that is, just like that. See, it lines right up. And all I have to do is cut this line all the way to the top. Simple. So, it is straight. There is no side that's more than the other. And all I did, like I said, I cut off what I needed to make it look like the way I wanted it. And then I traced my cut out on the piece of paper, which was like this way, I believe. And that way I could transfer it over to the other side. So, this is just the way that most people that are building this stuff normally do it. Not everybody's going to do it the same way. Other people will do it different ways. Like I said, they'll already have it all mocked up, and they'll take pin striping and stripe it. No, it's just, it's 100 ways to solve the same issue. All right, so I'm going to cut this out, these out, and then I'm going to put it back on the bike. All right, so this is how I remove spot welds. I take the die grinder and then I grind it down almost till nothing's there, and then I take some vice grips, grab a hold to it, and then twist it up, and I'll show you what that looks like real quick. Well, got to show you the good and the bad. I didn't go all the way through on either one, so I have to take the grinder and come in from this side and just cut away at it a little bit, and then I'll get the rest of it off. Got it. So let me mark where I want it to at least start at, which is right about here. All right. So that's not working. Okay, so I'm breaking some eggs to make an omelet. That looks pretty dang good. I had to make some relief cuts for it, as you can see here. I had to make them on both sides so that way it could bend. And then I will weld all of this up to make it structurally sound, and then I'll come back with a body hammer like I've been using, and I will make it smoother so it doesn't take as much to fill it in to make it look straight and correct. Well, this is where we will end the video today. I do have a lot more that I am going to be doing to the motorcycle, so stay tuned to this. We will be bringing it back pretty quick because this is stuff that I can actually finish pretty quickly, being I have all the materials and all that good stuff. I'm planning on deleting the front brake, this right here, which is supposed to be the on switch, and then you have the starter. I'm going to relocate the starter switch to the side. This is not going to be the on-off switch. This is going to end up being the high-low switch. We're going to switch it over here for the high and low. We're going to try to move this choke down here somewhere and do away with all of this. We'll have a horn button hidden somewhere because it does have horns. And then I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do with this plate for the brakes. It's a throw up for me. I may, and this is a may, I may keep it, weld it up, smooth it out, and then put maybe a Spawn emblem checkered throughout it. And that way when you're driving, you'll see, hopefully it will spin up enough to where you will actually see a Spawn emblem stay in one spot when you hit a certain speed. That's a game plan. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I am thinking about it. As you can see, I'm not wearing the same shirt because, yes, it's a different day. And we needed to wrap up the video. Okay, all right. Springs, got some nice springs for it. I need a bolt for that one. The factory bolt don't fit that. And I've got all of the foot pegs and everything we're going to be putting on there here soon. I've got to paint these ends. As you see, I painted them green. I'm going to paint these green as well. Needs a good cleaning, dusting. And everything works on this bike since I okay. Everything works on this bike. Speedometer, all that good stuff. All of it works. I just need to re-crank it. Make sure it's going to crank again. That's the only downside that I have right now. Okay. Oh yeah, got a lot to do, but it'll be fun. I believe I can get all of it done. I'm seeing something here that's a cover, a shield that I did not get to. I might see if I can get to it. We'll find out. Anyway, well, if you like what you see and you want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, if we work together, we can fix just about anything. It's just going to take some time. A lot of time.